Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Viewer, and this is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 18. So this week, Varelia and Seraphina came out. I don't expect to see Seraphina at all. Varelia probably will start popping up for some AoE boxes. We are still in Silver 2, and we're up against this guy. And let's see, he's got 3 tanks. I guess technically he has another pseudo-physical tank down here as well, but 3 main tanks. And 4 healers. Yeah, 4 primary healers. And then has a lot of the meta characters you see, but what this looks like is actually pretty meta. Or not meta, but pretty mixed. Which means it's great for me, because I can kind of decide what I'm going to go up against. My opponent immediately banned Isolde, so no Isolde play this week. And I was like, alright, well, I think I will return the favor, because I don't want to deal with your Isolde either. So I got rid of theirs. And I brought in Silvaria. It's been a while since we've seen her. A lot of our opponents have been leaving me with Isolde first, so I've always been picking her, but Silvaria is, of course, still in the box, and I definitely want to see if I can make things work with this. Lost Icemelda, lost Namiya. They grabbed Rosenseal right off the bat, so this is actually really good, because I was afraid they would pick something that was actually annoying. So with this, I can get rid of I don't care about their healers, so I can kill those. So I was like, alright, cool, I'll get rid of Andriel, get rid of Icemelda. Go ahead and grab Grinshill. And as far as what's remaining here, it's mostly tanks and healers. They have one primary attack caster, which is the Awakened one, which by herself is not that bad. Ymir is kind of scary, because I don't really know how... I've fought against a Ymir in World Arena, and I've beaten them, but he definitely can be quite a monster, because there's nothing you can do about a self-res usually. And Sword and Light Shadow can of course be a little dangerous as well, and you know, obviously Bernhardt is a very nasty bruiser. So got Grand Shield, so I have a faction buff for Silvaria. I also have a means to bypass guard if necessary. They go ahead and start banning my tanks right off the bat. I lost Hilda and Freya. They grab S18. So they haven't act again. So I was like, alright, cool, I'm going to get rid of your Sword and Light Shadow, get rid of your Mir. And I go ahead and grab Christiane. I was a little torn. I considered maybe grabbing Lightbringer, but with Christiane, I can guarantee a faction buff for S18 if I do grab her. And I have pretty much faction buffs for everyone except for Almeda in this case. And Lightbringer wouldn't be able to remedy that anyway. Also, I figure if I can get Christiane with first strike soon enough, I think I'll be fine for most of these enemies. Not only that, the box definitely doesn't have any rush potential really. So, yeah, like I said, they have S18 for a DPS, and the only remaining DPS they have is Awakened One and Bernhardt. My opponent actually ran out of time, so failed to do any bans this round, so I actually have full free pick on whatever I want at this point. They go ahead and grab Bernhardt, or SP variety, of course. I go ahead and get rid of Hilda, because obviously I don't want any crit negation when using Silvaria. Get rid of the Awakened One, and left them with nothing but tanks and healers. So I grab Ashian. I was tempted to grab a healer, but honestly, because Bernhardt always scares me because of stupid AoE fixed damage and AoE, heal negation. But honestly, with someone like Liana or something, I can probably handle it just fine. And since my opponent can only ban 2 of my healers anyway, whatever they leave me with will be someone that can handle it. So they get rid of the people that can definitely directly negate it. So Almeda and Rosenseal. And they go ahead and grab Christiane as one of their tanks. So I was like, alright, cool, I'm going to go ahead and ban your act again, go ahead and get rid of Almeda so I don't have to deal with that nonsense. And left him with either a healer or a tank, both of which I'm not that concerned about. So I'll go ahead and grab Liana as my healer. I can use the act agains, and then grab Lightbringer. So they have 2 tanks, which is actually a pretty decent counter against Grinshield's shield, because with 2 tanks, I can only really affect one of them, depending on the formation. So one thing I do want to talk about in this is there's a lot of quality of life things that came with the this week's update. One of them was any of the encounters where you have a bond requirement. it'll actually show the heroes with bond requirements, which is kind of neat. So if you're doing like a timeless trial or a time rift or a Gate of Fates, it'll actually show them, so you don't have to constantly look it up. The other thing that's really important for this battle, though, is this is the first battle where I actually had the not only do we have the grid, which we can actually have on during replays now, which is really helpful. It also shows numbers when you're actually playing. So whatever you click on, oh yeah, like this. So yeah, we now have this now. No more tile counting. You want to know how far Sora can snipe right now? It's right here. See, 9 spaces. You just look for the 9s and you kill things. If you have that fancy bow, you go for the 10s. You can be like, okay, well, how would my sniping be if I move her forward all the way? Well, she'll be right here. And there you go. So really, really helpful. Anyway, let's talk about our actual box, or our actual formation. We got S18 here, all of our exclusives with Star Prismas. S18, or not, sorry, that was S18. Gren Shield. We got Cold Shield, 3C Air Slash with War Falcons. Liana. Liana does have her inscription talent, so now her Act Again is 3 range. As you can see there, it's now 3 range. It also provides, I think it provides like regeneration or something else. I can't remember what. But we'll find out eventually. Anyway, so yeah, Act Again, heal 3C with Windbloom Chanters. Christiana went with Vanguards with Floral Realm, 3C, and Flower Formation. Silvaria, Deck Gunners with Sneak, 3C, and Disarm. Our opponent, their Eshian, which apparently is not as strong as mine. I am curious. 25%. Okay, I don't know what's up with her gear. She has better defense, but less attack. It's, I guess, slightly more HP. Okay. Anyway, their SGN is the same. Star Prismas with all of our exclusives. We got Christian with Vanguards with the same skills as mine. We have Bernhardt here with, I think this is 3C, and then all of his SP skills with Steelmane Werewolves. We got Rosen Seal with Shrine Maidens, Holy Class, and has full heals. We got Lightbringer here, brought Strengthen, Discipline, and 3C with Holy Guard Mages. Okay, so really the big curiosity here is, can I kill Bernhardt? Right now he has 932 defense without a faction buff. So right now I'm definitely pushing forward. My opponent has 2 tanks and decent healing, so it might be a race to the center here. Alright, let's see what he has. So right now, if I move a step back with Silvaria, I'll be within 9 range, because I can just click on this tile and look for the 9s. So there's the 9, and that's all I need to get to sniping range. So now he has 1074 defense. His faction buff effect doesn't actually do anything besides increase damage. And he does have the aura from Lightbringer that reduces crit chance, but that's about it. And then everything else here, I'm also outside his aura range, so it doesn't actually do any nastiness there. So I do take a step back and I go ahead and go into Valkyrie mode. My opponent does have an Act Again that can be a little cheeky. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, if I really wanted to be ensure that I get the snipe off, I should have acted again immediately, because if my opponent does the Act Again first, I won't be able to get mine up before Bernhardt moves. But for right now, I was like, alright, I'll just stay here and see what happens. I go ahead and push forward here. Mainly get the bubble up, so if Bernhardt does run up and do his little AoE nonsense, I can, I'll have at least some immunity. I mean, majority of my units actually have butterflies, so actually the danger of being hit with heal negation is actually non-existent, which I didn't really consider while I was doing certain things. But more importantly, Eshian did not do Act Again, so I am safe. I don't need to do any Act Agains. I just wait until the start of the next round, because I will go first. So the question is, can Silvaria snipe Bernhardt? Usually the answer is no. He has 17,579 HP, 1074 defense. I have 1639 attack. I do have Crystal Stinger, so I do negate 20% of defense. So he's floating around like 800 defense. So 800 defense, so I'm doing what? Around 800 damage per shot. That's not including the plus crit damage or the plus 20% hero damage or any of that nonsense, or the 1.4 times damage. So you can do the math and figure that out. I'm not, because I never do. So I go ahead and do 3C with Christiane to make sure I don't get any debuffs, but to be honest, it wasn't really a danger. I have 3 of my characters as butterflies. It does give Liana herself some immunity, which is always helpful. Also, one thing to note about Risen Seal is she did not bring Miracle, so she has no way of reducing damage. Alright, so with this, it's just straight for sniping. Unfortunately, my deck gunners are not going to do anything too special here. Yeah, I'm not in defensive terrain, so I can't ignore any further defense. But yeah, 17,579. Let's see what we get. I do a little bit of fixed damage first. So I need to do 17,000 damage. Yeah, with over about 5,000 to spare. So there you go. With a Crystal Stinger, I can snipe certain bruisers finally, which is very, very helpful. Alright, thanks to the kill, since I already had the faction buff up and the Fallen Petals was active, I was able to get rid of Effulgence thanks to killing Bernhardt, and then I went ahead and got rid of the remaining one, so I'm now in go mode with Christiane. It didn't really matter about what I threw with the Floral Realm, because I'm not close enough to do the AoE damage, and they don't have AoE damage to begin with. So, yep. So my opponent's just shifting forward. I can throw my shield, but my shield will only stop one person. Yeah, with this formation here, they actually have full coverage on both sides. So there's no point in me trying to run up with Gren Shield, so I just pass turn with her. Anyway, I just go ahead and do some... At this point, I have 2 act again, so I can easily get an act again and then another one on Silvaria. So I'll go ahead and do that. And my opponent decides to do dash here. I'm assuming probably because they're thinking I'm going to snipe her next, which is a pretty accurate thought. But my opponent gives up at that point because I could actually reposition at that point and snipe Eshian instead, I think. But yeah, quick and easy match. Got to show off Silvaria sniping Bernhardt, which was a grand achievement for me because usually she's incapable of doing that, but Crystal Stinger does make a difference. Alright, so yeah, short match there. I'm the Depressed Dior. This was Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 18, and I am Silver 1 now, so we got about 3 weeks to get to Gold 3, and with the rate we're going, maybe we'll pull it off. See you guys next time.